Welcome to another episode of Australian Caravan and Camping Adventures. In this episode, we're taking our new Stony Creek 11-foot caravan west. We've travelled directly from Brisbane to Charleville and have arrived at Windorah in just 2 days. From here, we will begin our journey towards Birdsville and Boulia. The Australian outback. There's something about the rich red sand dunes and endless blue skies that, once experienced, seem to draw you straight back out there. Our last trip out to Windorah was 3 years ago, and the fond memories we had sitting atop the bright red sand dune had us feeling nostalgic. The next morning, we left Windorah Caravan Park, filled up with fuel, and headed west towards Boulia. With a town population of 0 and a fake news site named after this place, Boulia was on our bucket list of places to explore. Though it wasn't the most exciting place we've ever visited, the bartender at the local pub was friendly, and the helpful mechanic took a look at our caravan bearing that had been leaking during our drive on the dirt road.
We're on our way from Boulia to Birdsville, and it's a chilly 18 degrees today. I'm so glad that I brought my jumper along with me. We went from being swarmed with flies yesterday to now crazy winds.
What am I missing? What's it? What am I missing?
When you're driving in the outback, the long distances don't seem as tiring. Maybe it's the lack of traffic or the wide open spaces, but moving along the great expanses of dirt is absolutely mesmerizing.
But when it's bumpy,
Okay.
it's not bumpy yet, Mom. And until it gets bumpy, Mom.
We made it to Birdsville! It took us about 4 days of driving to get here, and it's absolutely freezing!
The Birdsville Caravan Park was a welcoming sight after spending a few hours with only ourselves for company. We checked into our powered site, enjoyed the access to cleaning facilities, and headed into town for a decent feed at the Birdsville Hotel. We were actually really surprised to see fresh vegetables in our meals, as we weren't expecting to have much access to fresh fruit and vegetables whilst we were out here.
Birdsville Hotel. Awesome.
One of the biggest attractions at Birdsville is driving up Big Red. Though it isn't as red as the big sand dune in Windorah, it is significantly bigger, and up here, you can enjoy the view as the sunset spreads spectacularly across the horizon. When we're in an outback town, we have pretty low expectations for the types of food that we'll be able to purchase because, let's face it, it's so much harder to access fresh ingredients out here. But the Birdsville Bakery? This place blew us away.
How's it taste? Bad.
Despite Ella's thumbs down, she demolished the camel pie so that she could indulge in her baby chino.
Today is our second morning where we've come over to the Birdsville Bakery to have some breakfast. Yesterday Matt chose the famous camel pie, which was quite delicious. Even Ella had some and really enjoyed it. And I had the scrambled eggs on toast. And this morning Ella and I chose the ham and cheese croissant and Matt got the halloumi burger. The coffees here are delicious too. The Birdsville Bakery was definitely something that took us by surprise. When you're in an outback town, you don't expect, I guess, the best quality food, but here was definitely just like a cafe that you would go into in Brisbane.
Birdsville is so close to the South Australian border, and because we haven't yet ventured into that state before, we couldn't resist the opportunity to tick that box off. It's not every day that you get to see a town's water supply that looks like this. Talk about hot. So long, Birdsville. We're not sure what we're about to encounter on our journey towards Boulia. Wow, what a drive, and what an unexpected surprise Boulia has turned out to be. The access to fresh produce was much better than Birdsville, and the cute pets at the caravan park were a real hit with Ella. Heard about the mysterious Min Min lights? Head over to the information centre to find out all about them.
So we just went to the Min Min Encounter, and I think it's definitely a place that you need to come and see if you're out here in Boulia. The little exhibit was actually a lot more surprising than I thought it would be, and we had to coax Ella to come in. She was a little bit scared to begin with, but she was fine at the end of it. She said how it wasn't scary at all and she had a great time. So if you're in Boulia, come along and do the Min Min encounter.
Recommended by the woman at the information centre, we packed a picnic and made our way out to the police barracks. She told us that there wasn't much of the building left to see, but that it was an interesting destination to travel to if we were looking to explore places close to town. Turns out it was a wonderful place to have lunch. The last time we travelled to the outback, Windorah drew us back out here. This time, we're desperate to travel back to Boulia to discover what else lies beyond.